Hey guys, Harry Duffy with Ohio Brush Roll. So finally back out here in the garage, working on this hydraulic motor for the stump grinder over there. Got a couple updates on it. It's actually been it's been about 2 weeks, chasing parts, calling people, just trying to find the right stuff. There's most definitely ran into some hurdles. So first off, on the seal, I think I showed you guys last time. The seal is actually a bronze seal. It's pressed on there. This is the other half of it. It goes on there like this, and then this machine surface looks like stainless steel surface, actually pushes against that bronze seal, and it allows the shaft to rotate with the seal, and I'm assuming it just works itself into, yeah, it looks like it works a groove into that steel right there, which really there's no groove. I can't catch anything on my nail. It's just discolored a little bit where it's been riding. So yeah, this thing is spring loaded. And like I said, it just pushes tension against that bronze seal, and that's how it seals. Like I said in the last video, I think these pumps had two different styles of seal. One seal was this style, and the other seal, I'm pretty sure, was just a standard seal. So I was a little bit concerned with finding this. I called Rayco first time, which, side note, I was just informed by Rayco that I actually cannot buy parts from them anymore. Not because of anything I did. I guess they were bought or some sort of merger or something with Maverick and Ag Pro. So yeah, I called up to Rayco here a week ago, Rayco dealer here really close to me, and said, hey, I need this, this, and this. They said, where are you located again? I told them Ohio, and they said, well, we can't sell you any parts because you're out of Ohio. I said, what are you talking about? Yeah, I guess the higher up said, instead of buying from the Rayco dealers, Ohio people that live in Ohio have to go through the, I guess, sub dealers, which I don't know how many of you from Ohio or have ever dealt with Ag Pro, which is a John Deere dealer, mainly a John Deere dealer, but they are not super great. I haven't had very good experiences with them. So, needless to say, I was pretty upset about that, and I have a couple guys that I normally talk to up there. I won't mention their names or anything, but I said, buddy, I mean, doesn't this mean that all that's going to happen is your guys are going to mark up the parts, and then the sub dealer is going to mark up the parts, and I'm just going to end up paying more for it? It's like that's a whole other frustrating thing. I don't really like to complain about that kind of stuff, but that just really rubbed me the wrong way. You know, I mean, as a small business, it's already hard enough, let alone get the runaround on parts and deal with markups and everything like that. So, speaking of markups, like I said, first time I called Rayco, they actually referred me to Ag Pro, which is the sub dealer. I called Ag Pro. They said, well, we can't get that seal. It's you'll have to go through Eaton because it's an Eaton hydraulic motor. So I run around for a couple days trying to find part for this thing, trying to find the seal. There's no placard on it, that's most of my problem here, but there's no placard on it. So I end up calling Rayco again and explain the situation, and they spend about half an hour on the phone with me. We finally find the right part. He couldn't even tell me the cost on it. He said, I'll give you the part number, and I'll have to call back to the sub dealer to get the cost on it and get availability and all that stuff, which again, just the runaround is not great. So I called back to Ag Pro with my part number. They look it up. Oh yeah, we can get that here in a couple days. Rayco is actually showing it in stock. They actually had 2 of them. Guess how much it was for this bronze seal. It's just a little, pretty much a bronze ring that goes on there. Like I said, it's pressed on. The new seal actually comes with a new spring plate, I guess I would call it. It would come with a new spring plate, come with a new O-ring that goes around here, and I believe it actually came with a new snap ring also. So it came pretty complete. But they wanted $1,700 for this seal, three pieces, and I told them, I mean, I can't swing that. It's I can't swing that. So I started shopping around. I told them, well, I'll call Eaton again and maybe try and find a cheaper option. But luckily, I think I came up with a kind of a hillbilly solution, but I think it's a permanent fix, and I think it's pretty good. So I'll show you guys what I found. So originally, when I was pulling this motor apart, I showed you guys this snap ring, and I said, well, the bevel part, I think the bevel part went out, if I remember right. And closer look at this, it looks pretty uniform. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That bevel all the way around. I don't believe that bevel is supposed to be that exaggerated. I don't think it's supposed. Maybe it's not even supposed to be there. So I started thinking, well, if this snap ring holds this plate in, and this snap ring is worn out, it would allow this plate to kind of bump out farther than where it should be, which would not allow this plate to press against that bronze, which would cause a leak. So I started looking, and I think that's my problem. I think this snap ring is just so worn out. Like I said, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see. There's kind of a okay picture. It's just extremely beveled on that one outer side here. So first, originally I was thinking, well, I'll just flip this snap ring around. This side is relatively flat. That would get it to where it needs to be, and that would push that pressure plate. That would push it in back where it needs to go. So I originally was going to do that. Then I told myself, stop being a cheap ass, try and find a snap ring. So more parts calls, called around in multiple places. Finding a snap ring this big is actually a challenge. None of the local parts stores had it. And ultimately ended up having to call Granger was one of them, and Fastenal. So ultimately ended up getting it from Fastenal. I got a new snap ring, which is great. Got a new O-ring from Fastenal, which is great. This thing, snap ring, $86 just for a snap ring. But I figured that was a lot better than a $1,500 seal. So I am going to give that a shot. So this is one parts fiasco, I guess, that I've been dealing with. But I think, like I said, this will be a permanent fix. I'm actually going to put this together with the new snap ring and then test it without putting it on the stump grinder. I'm planning just to paint a little bit of paint on that seal, because it doesn't even look like it's been rubbing, to tell you the truth, and it should be smashed right up against this steel. So I'm figuring that should be shiny. So I'm going to try and figure out a way where I can maybe paint on that sealing surface right there, install everything, then maybe see if I can spin it and see if it rubs the paint away. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Another parts fiasco. So last time we talked, I was planning on replacing all the teeth on this. Some of these teeth are actually still pretty good, but a lot of them were worn out. So I was just planning on throwing a new set of teeth on it and throwing a couple of side bearings, just because they spun pretty nice, but this guy has a bunch of side-to-side play in it. So Yeah. All right, well, me not being very observant, I guess, these teeth are not Rayco. These are Rayco teeth, super teeth. They look similar, I guess, and I didn't even, they're a little bit thicker width-wise, and also these teeth are missing this, and obviously these say Rayco on them. Like I said, I didn't even realize I'm not super heavy into stump grinding, and I'm just trying to get this thing set up so I can start getting in stump grinding. So yeah, ordered a set of teeth for it, and I ended up talking back and forth with Rayco, their technical support. Hey, what's going on here? They told me this is not Rayco teeth. They don't believe this is a Rayco wheel either, so somebody along the line has replaced it, which I'm okay with, but there's no identification marks on it, so I can't tell what manufacturer it is. If anybody out there knows, that would be fantastic. I was told last time I was told these were Tomahawk teeth, which shoot, I forget the name of the company. It's some Italian sounding name. I forget the name of the company that makes Tomahawk teeth, but I looked on their website, called them, sent them pictures of my setup, what I had. They said, no, those aren't our teeth either. So I still do not have any idea what these teeth are called. There's no identification marks on them. My only hope here, after a couple conversations with the Rayco technical support, so these teeth are very similar, and I believe the bolt pattern is the same. So I'm gonna pop one off and see if these super teeth, Rayco super teeth, can mount on there. Yeah, so this wheel does not have any plunge teeth on it, which plunge teeth would be the farthest ones out, and they really should be sticking straight up and down. They should not have this 45 on them. They should be sticking straight up and down. That allows you to plunge cut into a stump. So I ordered full set of teeth for the original wheel that was on this thing, which I actually have the right amount of teeth, but I have the wrong amount of plunge teeth and regular 45 teeth. So now I get to call back to Rayco, and actually I need to see if they fit first. I'll pop one off, see if they fit, then I'll have to call back to Rayco. So that is the second parts fiasco on this thing, but like I said, we're working through it. The hydraulic motor should be fixed. This, hopefully, as long as the bolt pattern is the same, spacing is the same, should be fixed. So that is the second fiasco. I'll keep you guys posted on that. All right, and the third and final fiasco, I guess it would be called fiasco, but like I said, I just feel like complaining today, is these pillow block bearings. Third and final is these pillow block bearings. So I originally got an estimate from John Deere for teeth for both pillow block bearings, and they were going to look into the hydraulic seal, see if they can find it. Ultimately, like I said before, they came back and said, well, we can't find the seal. The teeth and the pillow block bearings will be X amount. They told me these pillow block bearings were $470 a piece. Yeah, ultimately they gave me a quote for it. I said, no, I'm gonna try and find a replacement for it. I actually called Rexnord, which is the company that makes it, and they said it'll be a couple actually they said 3 or 4 weeks, and I think they said the same amount on it, $500-600, something like that. Maybe it was even more straight from them. So I ended up biting the bullet and just getting one. My plan is to, this is the inner bearing, then there's the same bearing on the outside. My plan is to replace the inner bearing, and then maybe down the line replace the outer bearing, because the inner bearing is actually way worse than the outer one, and the outer one you can get to relatively easy. without taking the belt off and doing all that stuff. So I'm going to replace the hard one. Like I said, I think after tax out the door, $500 just for the pillow block bearing. The teeth, which ultimately were the wrong teeth, were I think $800 for a set of teeth for it, which those are consumables, those are expected. You can sharpen those. I don't have an issue paying that for these, you know. I think $500 for that is pretty bad. And the $1,700 for the seal is ridiculous. So altogether, I would have been at $1,700, $800 for the teeth. What is that? That's $2,600. $2,600 plus another, so $3,200, probably $3,300 for two preventative maintenance items, the teeth and the bearing, and then a seal. $3,300 for that. Like I said, I'm not made of money. I'm a small business. That kind of stuff is just ridiculous in my opinion. It's part of ownership, like I said, it really is. Really, the main thing that bugs me is that seal. $1,700 for that is just crazy. And Rayco had two of them in stock. They had two of them in stock. But luckily, I think I'll get away with that fix, that hillbilly fix. So I believe I have everything I need for the motor. That is the right pillow block bearing, which is awesome. And I'm really hoping those teeth will work out. So where am I at? I am at, I think altogether out the door, I was at $1,400. I can deal with that and get this thing up and going for spring. I'm really excited about getting some stump grinding, and I think that'll really add to my services and stuff like that. So I think that would really be really good. So yeah, we'll get everything together and hope for the best, and hopefully there's no more breakdowns. But yeah, I'll get you guys set up. Getting these teeth out is probably going to be pretty interesting. Like I said, I'm just going to focus on one set right now and see if the bolt holes line up. I'm also somewhat concerned. I said in the other video about these hardening rod somebody welded on here. I am a little bit concerned when I put these teeth on there's going to be interference issues, but that's not a huge deal. I can always take a grinder to it and just touch it up where it needs. So yeah, I'll get you guys set up and I'll pop one of these teeth out and we'll hope for the best. Fit. Looks like the bolt pattern is the same, spacing on them is the same, but these teeth have big shelves on them where they slide into a hole, so these super teeth are not going to work at all. So I need to explore my options now. I'm gonna clean one of these teeth up real good and see if I can see a manufacturer or part number or something on them, because